Claude Sonnet 4.5 is officially out, and the claim is it's the best coding model in the world. Do y'all really believe that? Guess what we're gonna do today? Make another Snake game. No, we're not gonna go ahead and do that. Today, we're actually gonna do a big old look at the coding model live. I don't know about you, but I wanna put this claim to the test because I am so tired of being absolutely right. If you're absolutely right, if you're so tired of being gaslit, make sure you drop this in the comments because this live stream is about to just be completely on fire and we're gonna just let it rip with this entire model. So this is a massive claim and I really want to put it to the test live. You know, this is just gonna be like no hype and anything. This is just gonna be completely raw and completely real here. So it's really interesting. I don't really look at the SWE benchmarks too much because we're just gonna just do as much as possible live. The thing that I'm really interested in comparing it against right now is the agentic terminal coding. So this is something that Claude Code uses really quite a bit, and this is something that the models really rely on is like as far as like a harness to kind of guide the model to do the work that it needs to do. And so with this type of like coding and this type of thing, we need something that's kind of guide this model along to get that intelligence to come out. And so what's been happening here is that this model in the agentic terminal has scored 50% on terminal bench. So that's Sonnet 4.5. That actually scores higher than Claude Opus 4.1 if you kind of really think about this. So that's really exciting news. And the thing that I've been recently playing around with is Droid. And so just as a disclaimer, they have sponsored my live stream this past weekend. And this is not a sponsored stream by them today, but I do want to let you know that that's happened in the past. And there's a link down below if you want to get 40 million tokens, by the way. But this is like, I get no commission from anything like that. I just want y'all to code with me. And right now, what's more important is like looking at these, what the droids have done from factory is they use the Sonnet 4 model, not 4.5, the 4 model, and they got the 50.5. So they scored higher, even with the latest model, like than Opus 1 or Sonnet 4 in that same benchmark. And then when they applied it to GPT-5 compared to Codex, they outperformed, and same with Opus 4.1. The good news is that today, the model's also available inside of Droid. So I'm gonna show you today how we can get set up with Droid, some of the prompting techniques that I use to generate some specs, and then that should actually help you generate better output for your code. So we're gonna try that out with Claude Sonnet 4.5. We're gonna check out the cursor version of Claude Sonnet 4.5 and do a similar technique for prompting. We're also going to check out Claude Code as well inside of Cursor. And I'm going to show you a quick hack to get that plugin working because right now the latest plugin is not available inside of Cursor for Claude Code. And this has this nice UI interface. If you've ever used Claude Code inside of Cursor or these types of things, it's really hard to highlight text and go back. But now you actually have a nice, really good GUI or user interface. So if I basically click this type of thing, now you have this new window here. If you could just start typing in your prompts or doing different things, like if I start to copy this here, and I don't know if you do this like type of stuff here, but if you type, you type in a bunch of things, and so if you type in all this stuff, you can actually go back and highlight different pieces of your code, which is super duper handy. And this is the new Claude Code plugin extension. If you go into the extensions, you search in Claude Code inside of Cursor, you're only going to get the older version of the actual extension. You're not going to get the latest version. And the reason is because I don't think they've released it for that. So it could be possible it's now released because I'm now seeing version 2.1. And it's possible that that's actually available now. Because earlier when I was checking, it was only 2.0.0. And I had to do this hack to download it. And I want to hear your feedback. So if you've tried to install this right now and get the update, and if you don't have that 2.1 inside of Cursor, let me know. I'm going to drop a link below so that you can try to actually download it. And once you download the actual plugin, you're going to just drag the plugin file into the extensions area and it's going to install it for you. So if you just drag this type of file that you go in here and install it, it's going to install it for you. But it looks like it actually is installing and updating itself. And now we're seeing 2.1. I had some issues earlier with it actually accepting images, but now we should actually be able to accept images. It's still not accepting images. Okay, so there is a problem here with that, but that's okay. So that's Claude Code. In order for you to get that set up, just go ahead and go into Claude Code in the extensions inside of here, and then type in Claude Code, and then you're going to be able to get that. And then now you actually have a nice GUI interface. The other thing that they actually promised here is the thing called Rewind. And so Rewind, Oh, actually, it may not show it here. If you're using Claude Code in the terminal, which is where I like to use it. So if you just use regular Claude Code, I'm just going to open up a new terminal UI, type in Claude. And in here, if you're going to see like a new interface if you haven't updated it. So you'll have Claude version 2.0. And if you type in /rewind, this is going to actually restore the conversation to a previous prompt. And so what's nice about that is if you're having a conversation, you can actually see the conversations that are generated here. And this is going to actually allow you to snap back to that period in time. And it's going to ask you, do you just want to keep the code or do you want to discard the code? Do you want to keep the conversation and throw away all the code? You have a couple different options to select here. So /rewind is going to allow you to do that. And then if you hit Command R, you can search back through the conversation, go snap back to that and kind of continue from then on. So that's another cool way if you're using Claude Code now that's currently available for those currently signed up for Claude Code Max plans. You can take advantage of this by updating that today. Also going inside of Cursor with the plugin. If you have VS Code, you can go ahead and update the plugin right now. You should see the 2.0, which will have these new advanced features for you. And then also if you want to do this inside of Factory Droid, if you've been trying that out right now, the best way to do that, if you pop in the Droid terminal, sorry, I was just fixing a bug earlier. Let's just see it. I'm just going to open up a new terminal window here. And so if you type in Droid, in here, you can actually be able to select the model. So while that's loading up, you do /model. And then in model, you can now select Sonnet 4.5. And then currently you can select the reasoning level you want to select, low, medium, or high, depending on the task you want to do. So if you're going to be doing some planning and stuff, you can select high. Usually a lot of these benchmarks, the higher the reasoning model, the better it scores. But you have to keep in mind whenever you're using a high reasoning model, you're going to use up a lot of context window. And so if you're using up a lot of context window, you don't always necessarily need to have high all the time. You can maybe have high for planning. And since the terminal benchmark scores really high above Opus for Sonnet 4.5, that's kind of maybe what we're going to be thinking here. And so we're going to see a little bit of how, this is kind of like some of the configuration stuff out of the way. This is Droid. This is, Claude Code over here. And then we also have Claude Code, the plugin now in VS Code. If you hit this little tab here, it's going to launch into an actual GUI interface. You can even explore your past conversations now in the GUI, which is super nice. And then you can select different options down here. If same thing as you were doing like Shift Tab before. So if you're doing Shift Tab, it's the same thing, or you can actually click them down here. So that's kind of do that. And then the / commands are down there below, just like we talked about earlier. And this talks about conversations, attaching a file. So it looks like you can attach a file by going here and then selecting a file now. So if I select a thumbnail, let's see if I can do that. Oh, okay. So that's actually how we attach images. I used to be able to drag images in, and it looks like you just have to do a /attach file. Okay, that's good to know. I was really that was like I think that was something really worried about. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay, cool. So that's good. That's kind of that there. And that's this window for the Claude Code things. And that's kind of that. The thing that I wanted to do is I have this app and I forked it from my friend Russ Mike, and it's called Drip Me Out. I've now called it Anime Studio. And basically what it allows you to do is upload an image and then it draws this little picture here. And I've now instituted an ability for you to actually buy credits. So you can purchase credits using Polar. So Polar.sh is going to be the payment provider. But as you can see, I have a bug. When I hit checkout, sometimes it'll actually come out with this checkout failed error. And I want to see if I can actually have these various agents, see if they can find the error and fix it for me. So I think that'd be a really cool test to see if they can actually figure this out for us on our behalf. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see if we can try to fix this bug for us. So I currently have the app running. I have a log here of it doing its thing with, Gemini and stuff like that. And then I'm going to just kind of pop this open here. And then let's see, I'm going to close some of these windows because I have a lot of stuff that's currently open. Let's go terminate and then terminate this here. Let's see, create checkout session. Yeah, I think I'll close some of this stuff too. Terminate. I was trying to fix the bug earlier and I couldn't really fix it. So I'm going to make sure we kind of go along with that. Let's go ahead and close this bug too. Why not? So I had this create checkout. I'm going to discard this code changes because it didn't actually fix the issue. So I'm going to fix these types of things, discard changes. Okay, cool. So discard all files. And I think what I want to do first is, since I'm already inside of Cursor. I'm really curious to see if Cursor can fix this in one shot because the harness is already built in. And I'm just really curious to see how Cursor is going to perform. So if I just type in Sonnet 4.5, whoops. Sonnet 4.5 is right here. So now we have selected in max mode, which we're going to get max everything. And then I don't think I need this specific section here. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is say, you know, I think I'm going to try to check out again. So if I check out, buy credits, purchase credits. Okay, checkout failed. Checkout failed. Okay. So I'm just going to tell Cursor, I'm having an issue with when the user goes to check out, they get this failure. Help me fix this issue. And then paste the failure here. Okay, cool. So what I'm hoping here is Cursor, like the actual harness, going to be smart enough to know that it should go and try to fix the bug and find all the relevant files and so forth. So our first test right now is just going to be checking this out inside of Cursor. So we have Sonnet 4.5 loaded up, it's supposed to be smart. We're going to see how well tuned, you know, this is to see if it could actually find this bug for us and find the connection issue and understand what we should be doing. So Cursor's agent has access to the web. It has access to all these different things. The other thing we're going to be looking at is a token efficiency. At the bottom, it says it's used 44,000 tokens so far in the context. And so that's going to be something to compare because when I was using Factory AI, when I ship features, I would probably use like about 1 million tokens, and it seemed to be extremely efficient with token usage. So now we're actually seeing Cursor coming up and trying to understand what the bug is and try to fix the error. So I can see the issue. The connection was lost while in action, was in flight. Errors happening because the Polar API calls timing out or taking too long without the proper handling. Let me fix this by adding a timeout, a better error logic, and so forth. So I don't think adding a timeout here to this is the best idea, to be honest, because like, what is this? Oh, what are we doing? Boy, it's really verbose and chatty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is this? I fixed the checkout connection issue. I added timeout protection. I enhanced error logging, better error messages. Click the buy button. If the Polar API is slow, now you get a cleaner timeout instead of connection lost. Check the error logs, monitor for issues. Why this happened? The original code had no timeout handling. Oh no. Oh, really? Yo, is this the smartest coding model in the world? Like, let me give the same prompt to Claude Code and see if it can kind of try to figure this out, because this is not the business right now. Yo, I really don't. This is not the way you're gonna approach this problem. Let's see. Notice I just gave it something really vague and I didn't really try to understand it, right? And I think that's the problem here. So let's go ahead and try to. Let me just go ahead and unstash these changes. Discard changes. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is to, okay, so we can get rid of this working tree here, and then we're kind of reverted everything back. Okay, cool. Everything's back here. And, oh yes, I'm absolutely right. That's right. That's right. You guys are much happier about what is this thing doing moment than I am. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see. All right. So I don't like any of these changes. Okay. Are we back? We back, fam. Let me just kind of restart here. So we should be able to get rid of this code. Don't save. Don't save. Great. Okay. So we should be back to like a good working state again. Okay. So we're back. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do, yeah, I'm going to open up Claude Code, and I'm just going to ask it kind of the same thing. So instead of ask before edits, I'm going to say edit automatically, plan mode. Let's go into plan mode here. Okay. So hopefully we're going to give it enough to do its planning that it needs to do. So let's go ahead and see. Working. This is pretty cool. I'm wondering if you guys can see the UI. Is it too small? Should I make it a little bit bigger? I'm just kind of curious to see what your guys' thoughts are for this and stuff like that. That's what you get, extensions. Yes. Let me kind of catch up with the comments a little bit. I just need to know if I'm still going to create bloat by adding duplicate files that do the same thing enhanced by the end. Yes. I don't know. I feel like Claude right now, Claude Sonnet's so anxious to get code out to you and be out of here. So I'm too old for these late night streams, friend. Oh, you know what? It's only like 2:30 here in Hawaii, and I could see why. Yeah. So far, definitely. No one, literally one shot at a duplicate files finder I used for evals for roughly 15 minutes. Looking forward to hear your thoughts on 4.5. Okay. A lot faster than GPT-5 codex so far. Yes. 3:18 in the morning in Romania. Oh my God, bro. You're beast moding. Yeah. I used Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5 today. Worked pretty good. Okay. I'll get back on the max Claude Code after a few updates. Okay. Bro, excited to hear your thanks. That's awesome. Would like to be able to use this for context. So build up a good context and then keep rewinding back to it. Here is the thing. I don't know. You know, I'm really curious to see how this is going to perform, you know, with this type of thing here. So it's interesting how much longer Claude Code is taking compared to Cursor. And, you know, Cursor was really, really fast and wanting to get right into the code. And maybe it's just the fact that it's not as, I don't know what's going on here. I didn't even select a max mode or anything like that. It's kind of doing its own thing. So we'll see. Droid CLI, Sonnet 4.5 might be the killer combo. I think that's going to be the one, if you know what I mean. So it's still a gaslighter. Okay. I joined right now. Quick question. Do you have 4.5 available in /model? Because I just have Sonnet 4. So if you check, you should have version 2.0 in your Claude code. So if you run Claude-version at the bottom, let's see if I Claude-version, --version. If your version is not 2.0, then you're probably not going to see the new the new model basically. And so if you want to do something, you can do which Claude, and they'll tell you where your Claude instance is currently installed. So that's kind of how you'll know what's going on. So let me know what that is and see if it resolves it for you. You have an IDE. You have to update your, and you also have to update your IDE. That's right. Okay, cool. I think you guys are all trying to figure it out. I did both terminal and VS Code extension, nothing. Huh, interesting. Yeah, really, really curious to see what happens. My favorite YouTuber named Ray. Yo, that's the best name, right, Ray? That's what's up. Hey, Ray, so glad to see you. Found you yesterday and learning as much as I can. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do around here. I feel like we're gonna figure out the vibes of these models real quick. You know what I mean? I don't take these claims lightly when people say like it's the best coding model in the world when y'all already made a mistake firsthand right out the gate. You know what I mean? Like that's not the best. It's real quick. Is the model low key like gaslighting me as well? Like, is that actual press release a preview of where we're going, where it's claiming it's the best? Because I don't know if you know, I'm the best YouTuber live streamer right now on the internet, right? I mean, the numbers show it, right? Come on, y'all. Like, the only reason we're here is because y'all hit the smash the thumbs up and hit the like and subscribe because I'm the best. Absolutely right? Oh my God, these guys are too much. Bruh. Okay, so let's check it out right now. So the error connection loss occurs because of the direct call to the client, and it calls checkout session directly as an action. You can use action. So there's a network dependent API, which makes an extender option. I like this kind of like root cause analysis before it gets into things, which is cool. If the network is slow, the pull API times out, or the user connection drops, the client loses track of the connection in flight. Yes. So the code tries to confirm checkout immediately at line 59, compounding the potential network issue. This is a great root cause analysis. I don't know if you realize how much longer Claude Sonnet took to think here in Claude Code versus Cursor's agents. So Cursor's agent wanted to move super duper fast, came up with a solution and put some like saying, oh, I know the problem. You just need a timeout. It's like, bro, like you're just going to add 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds to my app API call just because, it's like, without actually, going into the why. And then it had the audacity to say, like, your issue was because it was slow. So I added the code in and you see, that's why the issue is what it is. And I'm right. So thank you. I'm done. Do you want to tip $5? Like, I feel like we're almost at the point where the models are going to ask us to tip before we actually prompt them, you know, like tip $5. You know, like, let me know what's going to happen next when you hit enter, right? Like, I'm like, bro, chill. I'm already paying $200 a month, man. Like, just chill for a second, you know? Let's see. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here in this pondering, unfurling phases here. So root causes are a long-running action, violates convex best practice of keeping function under 100 milliseconds, no retry logic or fallback, which is exactly what I was going to actually tell it. Client wants the entire checkout creation confirmation flow synchronously, yes, and no mutation to track the checkout state if the connection drops or there's no record. Love all of this. These are really great root causes, and Claude Code actually did figure it out. So the question here is going to be next, like, can it actually write the code, or are we just going to be chilling here for the next like 20 minutes, just on stream vibing while we're waiting for Claude to kind of pick up on the vibes? Because I don't know about you, but I'd rather be at the beach right now, chilling. You know what I mean? Like, just going to chill live, because this is taking a little too damn. What is going on? What just happened? So it looks like it popped into another window here. And like, let's just see what's going on. Okay. So, wow. Okay. So it came up with this plan. This is new to me, by the way. I haven't seen this before. So it comes up with a plan for us to review as part of this new plugin. I'm going to get rid of this side window here. And I don't know if you've realized how much extra space it takes, because it kind of did a split pane thing. And like, we can review it here, but it's probably the same thing because it's just marked down over here. And it looks like we can do a couple of things for this window. This is really interesting. I don't think I've seen this before. So the plan is here, and I wonder if I could just add, yeah, it looks like I can edit it. Like, I can just go in and start changing things here. And so this plan is actually what's dropped up on here. So it did the root cause. Now it's saying the error connection lost while it was in flight occurs when convex. Okay, so here's the root cause. Here's the solution strategy. And now it's saying make a synchronous external API call to Polar. So polar.checkout.create awaits for the response before returning the client. Okay, so the solution is when, what is it saying here? Fix the fixed plan. Do we have a fixed plan here? So I think what's confusing to me is that this UI is totally like unreadable in the current VS Code thing, because I have this plan, but it's like, how am I supposed to read this? It's in Markdown. It's not even formatted for me to read. And then like, I'm confused here because stuff is in gray. I'm not really sure like this UI. I think this UI can be improved a lot. It comes up with a solution. So we need the client secret immediately when they redirect the user when we use the hybrid approach. So keep the action, but add timeout protection for better handling. Move slow Polar API call to a helper without a timeout. Add a fallback to a hosted checkout URL that takes too long. Improve client-side handling to gracefully handle the connection loss. No, let's see. The problem. Okay, so the root cause, is that here? Okay, so this is the same thing. Okay. But it's just formatted in a way that's just really hard for me to track what's going on. This follows the convex best practices. So update the client. Okay. Oh, I can't actually edit it. Okay. Oh, that's a bummer. So why even show this? Okay. Huh. I'm going to say no, keep planning. Oh gosh. Here, I'm going to just say, no, tell Claude what to do instead. I want you to look up on the web for the Polar SDK and also the Convex SDK, because I think the approach that you're proposing is incorrect. I don't think I'm going to say, I think the approach. I want you to look up the web. Okay. So it should look up on the web to see how we should be able to handle this. So now it's doing some web calls here. Okay. How's 4.5 doing so far, bro? 4.5 like did a good job of figuring out the root cause right now, but the proposed solution doesn't seem to be right. And I'm wanting it to do a web search to get some more context here to see if it can kind of figure out what to do next. So yeah, try adding pound into your option. Okay, well, I don't know what that does. I find Claude 0.5 very good. I use it in Warp. Immediately caught my attention, and there's that it always creates and edits MD files and changes it makes. Okay, cool. Please summarize how it's been so far. We just started, and all we're doing is basically having it fix / debug a feature. So the problem I have is when I go ahead and buy credits, I get a timeout, and it just depends on where it's timing out. And this should be like, I mean, I could probably figure it out if I debug it myself right now. I'm trying to delegate this task to an agent so I don't have to do this. It's just taking a very long time. So I'm comparing it to Cursor. So Cursor immediately said, this is a timeout issue. I'm going to go ahead and add like a 2.5 second timeout. And now we're going to like have the user wait for 2.5 seconds, whether it works or not. And I'm not really sure. And there's a better way to probably do this. I found it strange that none of them looked up, like the Cursor agent didn't look up on the web specifically to see, like, let me just go ahead and check the version of your packages. What version of Polar do you have installed? What version of Convex do you have installed? Like, I know that these two are supposed to talk to each other. Let me go look up documentation now and see what the API spec says for this type of thing, right? I shouldn't have to do that. I feel like these guys should be able to do that for us. And I have to now like tell it explicitly what to do. And that's kind of what I'm pointing to do now. So it's like, hey, go ahead and check out the checkout session, convex actions, timeout, connections lost, best practices. So these are really good web searches, and I'm hoping that it can kind of do something for us here. I'm building the next gen CLI for Grok, if that's what I'm working on. I've heard through the grapevine that the context edit only works on API paid usage. Context edit. Is that the new agent AI SDK for Claude Code? That'd be interesting. This looks like a bug. I think it should load another file. Yeah. I'm late here. What are the Sonnet 4.5? Chat, can you guys fill everyone in who's been kind of rolling in right now? What? Also curious to know, like, what is your vibe right now on 4.5 if you've been using it? Right now, I'm using it to debug something, but I feel like I should also use it to create new UI as well, because I kind of want to test out that portion. So aside from this, I might just have it to like see if it can help us rewrite some of the UI into some screenshots and give it some examples. Because if this bug doesn't get fixed, I'm just going to move on to the UI stuff. And I feel like that's going to be more exciting, because like these interaction patterns are going to be probably the better way to kind of make this thing happen. So I'll show you how some of that works. I might even set up a new window for this to do this thing, because to set something up in parallel. So, okay, cool. So that's kind of that there. Okay. So let me kind of get rid of this comment here. I'm late here. So yeah, I have to tell it to look at the documentation in order to do web searches. Interesting. Do you have any guides or rules on how to use Claude for the best way? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how I use it in factory. I like to put it into spec mode. Right now, I basically put it into planning mode. And in planning mode is kind of what I like to do to try to figure out the problem that I'm having and see if you can come up with a plan for how we should be able to solve this problem. And right now, it's just taking forever to run inside of Claude Code. And it's just literally just doing web searches right now. So, oh man. So yeah, that's kind of what's up. It's very fast at review. It's very detailed. Yes. For Sonnet 4.5 is a lot better front end and design aesthetics. For backend, it feels familiar to Opus 4.1. Okay. My vibes have been good. I've used it to make a chatbot with Claude and open router API keys, local DB. I got it all done in about 30 minutes. Not bad. If 4.5 can't fix the bug, you could ask GPT-5 Codex. It could fix the problem. I'm curious how it would have been in comparison to the new Sonnet. I think 4.5 is going to nail this type of bug. To be honest, this is something, if it's the smartest coding model in the world, I don't see why this can't get this, if you know what I mean. Like that's the claim. We just read the claim at the beginning of the live stream. I mean, I'll show you right now. Like this is not coming from me. This is coming from them. Like the first 2 lines, Claude Sonnet 4.5 is the best coding model, not the best coding model like right now in the world. Is this the best that you got right now, bro? I don't know. I mean, chat, are you feeling this right now? I really don't believe it, bro. This is cap. I think it's so awesome, especially when we use API. Yeah. I think so too. I'm giving it a hard time. I'm not giving it like refactor my whole code base and do XYZ. I'm just saying, can you fix a timeout issue? This is pretty common stuff. Like it's trained on web development, it's trained on backend system, it's trained on something else. Like the lazy way is saying, just add a 2-second timeout and just bug out. But like, bro, we're not. I can't right now. I can't. That's not the best. That's not the best. I really don't feel like that's premium, if you know what I mean. Like, you just can't. They're gaslighting us. I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure that's cap. That's what I'm implementing so far. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not the best in the world, but it's decent. But that's what they're claiming, bro. I'm with you on that though. But it can extend the timeout if you ask to extend it, but been there, done that. Yeah. I'm not leaving Codex yet. I mean, that's kind of where I'm feeling at right now. So I don't know about you, but this thing is taking forever in Claude Code. So we're using the Claude Code extension, and it's just, oh my gosh, just to research, it's just so painful right now. It's hallucinating on the web search, assuming the address, it needed to search the real site. Yeah, it assumed the address based off of like a convention, but it didn't actually search anything. That's a really good point. Do you use factory? Yes. And that's what I'm going to use next, because I don't like, I feel like the speed here is just horrendous. But guys, this is the best in the world. Like the actual like benchmarks from Claude. If we look at the best coding model in the world, if we scroll down, like this is what their agentic terminal coding bench scored. We're like literally using like their harness here for using their best coding model in the world. Not there, it's the best coding model in the world. And I don't know about you, but I'm still waiting, bro. Is the best yet to come? Am I just being impatient, y'all? I know I'm not. That's why it's so dumb. I think half the developers in the world are giving it a run. That's why it's behaving weird. Plus all the YouTubers going to videos. Low key, but I mean, why release something if you can't handle all the traffic, right? Like, I don't know. I think this, like, they've been releasing software for a long time. It's not like this is their first release ever. Okay, Webfetch. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. Claude is great, but since the CLI stuff, it's so damn slow for sure. It plans everything, checks, but we can fix it later. 4.5 feels rushed, complete with Grok code, maybe? Ooh. Low key. I don't think I'm hating. I think I'm frustrated just like everyone else right now of being gaslit from this model. Like low key. I mean, how many times do I have to hear like, I'm the best XYZ? Like, show up and show me. Like, just be silent. Just say, here's a model. That's it. Like we tell you if it's the best, right? Like we're going to use these models to code and we're going to evaluate in real time. That's why I do these lives, because I want to see like, is this actually going to help me ship software? And if it does, and it's really good, guess what? I'm going to tell everyone that this is the best coding model everywhere. And I don't need to know that ahead of time, really. In fact, it just kind of makes the bar much higher so that something like this where it's not really working and the first attempts are pretty bad. And I started off with the planning mode. That's not the best. Convex use action, error handling. Okay, retry pattern. Oh my God, bro. I'm so done with this right now. Okay, while it's doing that, I'm going to go look up some UI. So I'm going to go 21st.dev. I'm going to remake my landing page. So I think it's drip me out. So this is the current app. I'm going to sign out and I'm going to show you what the current landing page is so I can kind of make a better UI. Because it's not like my internet connection is slow. So I'm going to log out, sign out of this thing. So this thing is called Anime Studio. And then, so this is my current like landing page. And obviously like it's just totally like vibe coded, right? So we can do better, fam. Like while we're waiting for Claude Code to kind of figure out its life right now, it's having a midlife crisis. We're going to go to 21st Dev and we're just going to try to find some fire like landing pages to see if we can kind of make this just like amazing. So I think we're going to go to heroes and we're just going to see if we can kind of cook here. So create, wow. Yo. This is kind of crazy. Okay, hero section. Wow. What is this? Okay, magic UI, scroll media. Ooh. So let's see if I can get, yo, this is kind of crazy. What is this? Okay, ship faster with NS. Let's see, what is this? Okay. Oh, this is just like a really generic landing page. Okay, that's cool. What's this? Oh my God. Okay, scroll to explore. Bro, what is this? Oh my goodness. Yo, this is too fancy. Okay, I just want my people to go in and just start cooking, you know? So let's just see what's this. Like, this is cool. I like the video. Okay. Fancy? What's this? The fact that it doesn't really load on my thing, it's kind of says a lot. Shader animation. Wow. Make it work. Okay, y'all being too extra with these sometimes. What is this? Entropy demo? Okay, it takes too long to load. No, that's not. I want my page to load like ASAP. Okay, I can't be doing this. Can we just get some fire landing pages already? This is simple. It's chill. Okay. Animated hero. Okay, this is actually kind of closer to maybe what I want, because we have like the demo of the images and it kind of has something interesting there that we want to work with. All right, so this is an interactive demo for the 3D robot. Okay, nah. Fancy? Ooh, what is this? Download? I kind of like that. That's really cool. Yeah, let's try. I like this one too because it has a lot of like the images in the background. Marketing blocks. Okay. What is this? Okay, no. This one's really clean, but that's too much. Huh. Brand. Hi, friend. Okay, let's just do like the low-key fancy one. That one's cool, but it doesn't really tell me a lot. This one is more descriptive. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's see. Copy prompt. Hold on. Open component. I could do demo 2. Demo 3. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Hero demo 2. And hero demo 1. Yeah, I'll do this one. Open component. So here is, if I want to copy the prompt into cursor, I could just go copy prompt. Oh, that's kind of fire. Okay. So yeah, this is, this is painful. Look at this. We're still waiting on this. Oh, Claude Code. Why are you so exhausted? You know what? I think you need to rest right now. We're going to put you down. Okay. So what I need to do is I want to make a fire landing page. And what I'm going to do is we have the copy to cursor prompt. We should just cook with that, huh? Like I feel, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this a factory. I think factory is going to cook with this. So while we're waiting on this, I'm just going to go back to here. I'm going to be like, I'm going to open up a new terminal window. I'm just going to type in factory or droid. All right, let's go. I'm just tired of waiting for Claude right now. Okay, so now that we have this open, I'm just going to go ahead and right click and say open in a new window. And then that way we can open up a new window and I could just kind of have my own little thing kind of going on while we're waiting for it to do its thing. Because we're going to touch the front end and we're not really going to touch the back end. So what I'm going to do in Droid is the following: /model. And then I have Claude 4.5. I'm going to go ahead and set it to high. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is go shift tab. Now we're currently in spec and research mode. So with the factory droid here, I'm going to go into spec mode so that we can kind of plan out the spec for implementing the front end. Because I want to be extremely diligent and go through every little detail. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is like, I want to redesign my entire landing page and the site so it has site. So it has the following vibe. Here is the prompt. Boop. So I basically have given it the entire prompt that we copied from 21st Dev, which is this copy prompt. And so that's the prompt that it's going to have. And I think it probably has like pieces of code and everything in there. So within that, I'm going to just let it go and iterate in spec mode currently on high. And so this is going to test the ability of Claude Sonnet kind of being a designer and getting this prompt for 21st Dev and seeing if the droid from factory, since it scores higher in these like terminal benchmarks, can it actually generate a spec for us? So what's the difference between a spec and a plan? So I had an interview with, if you want to go ahead and check it out, yesterday on the live stream, but he was basically saying the spec is your overall like intent for what you want to get out of the app. And then the plan is usually the very specific thing that you want the model to do to get out of there, right? So while you can have like a larger version of a plan, the spec is going to say, okay, I want, these specific features and I want these specific things. So that's really good for a guardrail standpoint for the model providers to kind of stay on track. So let's go ahead and see if I can kind of take a look and show you what's going on here. So now that this is the entire prompt, right? So like it copied all of that code from that bento and it's telling it about what it's going to be doing here and everything like that. And so now factory AI is basically going into this point here where it's saying, what's it saying here? So it says, yes, allow, yes, always allow. Okay, so right now it's basically saying create a hero gallery. Okay, so it's actually, now let me check the current images being used, understand the brand aesthetics matter. So it's actually trying to find these actual images. Okay, so I'm gonna say, yes, allow. Cool. All right, so let's check up on Claude and see if it finished like fixing the bug for us on the back end. So it's still doing web searching. I don't think it's gonna finish, man. This is taking forever. I might actually pop it into a droid and finish it out. Like this is, actually I'm gonna do that right now. I don't think, I can't take this speed. This is so slow. So I'm gonna open up another droid and I'm just gonna go droid and have it fix this bug too. Because look at this. This is so, it's whirring, guys. It's whirring. Perfect. I have the complete picture. Now let me look at more resource about the client side action pattern. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna let it cook, but in the meantime, I'm gonna work on the UI over here. So there's a hero gallery scroll animation integration spec. So this is actually now generated the spec file for us. So in this spec file for the design, we're basically trying to introduce this like hero animation because I basically have, like a gallery type of thing, right? And I want that to be for my landing page. And so it's got the dependencies outlined, the project structure, create the core components, and then copy the hero, replace the images with fashion, streetwear, transformation themed images. So like, yeah, I think I want to tell it that I want to keep iterating on the spec. So the app is now turned into the anime studio where I'm basically transforming the objects into anime illustrations. And I've already selected some featured images to be featured in the gallery. So I want you to make sure we can kind of include those because that's kind of what makes it really fun and dynamic. The admin is going to be the one that's selecting that out. All the stuff that said drip me out was because I forked the project. So I want you to also take a review over there and make sure we outline all those different pieces and convert it so that we align with the new Anime Studio theming and guidelines. So then I'm going to hit enter. And so now that I've given this massive prompt, I want to basically extend like this theme and concept to make sure that all the different parts of my app now start following this convention and design. And then one of the things I didn't see it call out here is I am actually using Tailwind v4. So if I go to like, let's see, root CSS, global CSS, I'm using the new like conventions. So we should be able to take advantage of that as well from a design, like engineering pattern. And I don't think I see a mention of that in here as well. So I want to make sure that our spec, it does call it out here for the project structure, but I don't see any specific details for that. So I want to make sure we get additional details for these types of things as well. So this is using Factory Droid. This is why I like it so much because one, it's really fast, but two, it's really good at like making specs and finding files and doing these things. So let me move this to the side, and Claude Code is still going. I don't know, man. Claude Code. I can't take this right now. I can't take you, Claude Code. I do think the model is smart. I think it just needs a better harness. And the harness being like Claude Code is one of them. You know, Cursor Agent is one of them. The Droid from Factory is one of them as well. You have, you know, people are using Warp, people are using Windsurf, people are using other agents and stuff like that. I think Augment Code will probably have it. I mean, all your favorite, like name whatever editor, they're all going to have this model. And I don't know, I'm just focused on the best. I'm focused on the best. Let's go. Okay, let's kind of double check this spec. This spec file is getting really beautiful, by the way. Look at this, epic. So it's going to transform the landing page powered by actual admin curated features, plus a complete rebrand from the Drip Me Out to Anime Studio. Yes. So there's now phases. Phase 1, the hero gallery animation. There's a new landing experience. Oh, wow. What just happened? So Claude is now broken into the, I want to do this type of thing where like I have a plan now and I want to see if I can accept it. So what's the new plan here? It looks like key findings from research. So the code violates the convex best practices by calling the action directly from the client. Okay. When Polar's API is slow or the network's unusable, the client action connection can be lost mid-flight, causing the connection loss. Yes. So refactor to use the mutation, scheduled action pattern. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for with the retry capability. So add the checkout session table to here, create a mutation, initiate checkout, convert the action into an internal scheduled action, and then get the checkout session. Yes. And then when it's ready, yeah, perfect. This is exactly the plan. This is what I was hoping for Claude to figure out from the very beginning. And it took a very long time, but hey, I'm going to, yes, auto accept all the edits here. So we're basically going to go ahead and YOLO the plan, and there it goes. So now Claude Code is currently working on my backend. Claude Code is currently working on my backend. That sounds and yeah, this looks pretty. I'm going to just kind of get rid of this here. So now that it's actually figured out the plan and it's going to make the changes to the back end, I really like this a lot better. Like this is exactly what I was looking for as far as a pattern. And now it's going to actually go and kind of do the things that it's done. This is really beautiful. I like these new to-dos, add checkout sessions, and now it's going to do its thing. So we're really going to now see how the model is going to actually write software for us. And yeah, this is a pretty good W right now. It did take a while. I think the thing that I don't like is how long it took. But hey, it did do the research that we did ask it to do to look up the right conventions using the latest, SDKs and the stuff I had installed. I am not impressed that it didn't do that to begin with, but hey, it just took a second try. So if you're just watching and tuning in right now, how does Claude Sonnet 4.5, the best coding model, do in the world? It has hiccups just like everyone else. And is it an excuse? I think there's going to be differences in terms of like what people are using it. So when people say, oh my God, this is amazing, you probably want to ask them, are you using it in Cursor as an agent? Are you using it in Claude Code? Are you using Claude Code in the terminal? Are you using it in Factory AI? Like all of those make a big difference in how this model behaves, because the first step we did was Cursor Agent. And with Cursor Agent, immediately went to a solution, immediately went to a timeout, and it just says, hey, I'm out of here. And that's not the best thing to do for this. It didn't actually really truly understand that, how Convex works, how the SDK works, and even enough to do like enough research to understand what it should be doing from there. And it actually wanted to prefer its own bias. Where Claude Code, if you kind of nudge it again saying, can you just go ahead and look, eventually it found its way there. The second part with Claude Code in the actual app in the GUI here is the fact that it took a little while, and I'm not sure if it's just the network traffic, but when we're doing it inside of Factory AI, Factory is just like buzzing and moving super quickly. So it just could be their infrastructure. I really don't know. But this UI is really nice inside of Claude Code. I really like this. So now it's going to do this create checkout session. This is beautiful. All right. So now that we got that going, let me just kind of catch up on the comments a little bit. Claude is great, but since the CLI stuff, it's so damn. It sure plans checks everything, but it's boring. I'll check back later. Yeah. Oh, yes. I think we're kind of going with that. Agree with you. Fair point. Backup words with actions. Raise spinning facts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, y'all are crazy right now. So I got to join your Discord, no joke. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, there's just a little link up there for you to kind of join that in. That's what's up. How many products have you shipped so far? Bro, too many. Like 20 different products. For friends, for people, for personal things as well. Actually, way more than 20 of that. And then before that, I probably worked on like the biggest system that's probably impacted humanity, which is like the over-the-air update system. So I had a lot of work on that, and that was like with Apple's stuff. So like billions of devices have updated and are still updating at a failure rate that's pretty much like the world record, right now. And it's just really incredible because all of that work is based off of like, one big system that interacts with a lot of components. And it's extremely complicated, and so few people know and have a lot of expertise in a lot of these different domains to kind of tie this whole thing together. And so I'm using a lot of these types of engineering experiences when I'm now coding with AI to see if I can, like, my goal is really to have agents drive the code, deliver the software, making sure they're on the right track and making sure they're doing the right things. And there's so few companies that are really agentically driven this way to generate software. And I like to use them, and I like to try these different things out. And it's really important that we who create code understand that like we should be able to leverage the intelligence of these models, because the models are only going to get more intelligent about the world and about documentation. So they'll have these intuitive senses about design or intuitive senses about debugging. And so by giving it real world problems, I'm able to learn a little bit better. When I say, go fix this problem, I want to see where the model goes right off the get-go. Is it going on the right direction? Can it actually think? When it is thinking, what is it thinking about? And then if we kind of give it a little bit of guidance to say, why don't you just go over here? Does it eventually find the right solution? So that's kind of what I look for in terms of intelligences of models. And the model can be the same. And as we're seeing, the behavior is very different across the people who are sitting on top and using like what I call the agent harness, right? So they have their own way of, pulling and managing context from the model. And that stuff is really important too for this type of tasks for engineering. So yeah, that's what's up. Maybe they're just following OpenAI's marketing style. Oh, I can't right now. I can't. That's what I said last night when everyone was hyping up the new release, Windsurf plus Qwen 3. And I'm only spending maybe $45 to $60 a month. And dude, you're crazy, man. Try Raycast. What's that? Yo, dude, what's going on, man? How are you liking Qwen 3? Yeah, like, let them know. Fancy fits in this app. Fancy would be cool with all this public drips. Yeah. Clanker ain't clanking. Now understanding why they're claiming 30 hours of nonstop work. Bro, I need the air horn. Pew, pew, pew. Yo, 30 hours because it takes so damn long, right? Damn. Are they really selling website code like that out here? I don't know. What's the difference between Claude in Claude Code versus, say, Cursor and Windsurf? So, Tyler, we're noticing a little bit of a difference. In Claude Code, I do find it like I'm not telling it to use like ultra think, or I'm not telling it to think harder or anything like that, right? So like the first couple of requests were pretty fast. Second request took a little while. Like, it's doing its own thinking and stuff here. And I don't really know if that's because it's being programmed that way, or like I'm not really explicit about that. So that's an interesting thing. In Claude, in actual like Cursor, you can't set the thinking level either. It just kind of behaves and acts on itself. So like right out the get-go, the Cursor one seems to want to move extremely fast and get stuff done, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be right the first time. So that was my first take there that we got to see. Like, oh, how many apps have I shipped besides earning from Discord? I don't really earn from Discord. So the Discord thing is basically there so that people can join. And I don't want people to basically like join in who, want to just take advantage of other people's time. So for me, like time is like a big factor in terms of like where I spend a lot of my energy. And a lot of people who are paying, the $14.99 a month for the Discord, first of all, like the first 100 people got in for half the price. And I keep raising the price as we go because like people who are with me can really understand this whole movement. So if you're new to like my channel and everything like that, I'm not here to like, make money off of you, make $5 or whatever like that. I worked at Apple for like 12 years and, I made my money as an engineer being there, and the Apple stock at 2010 compared to now has done extremely well. So I've been extremely fortunate. And so now I basically run a business, like this YouTube channel and so forth like that to, talk to people and actually use these models and give engineering feedback directly to these companies. And you're basically, anyone who's watching right now who works at any of these companies are getting like my amazing like feedback using the model live. And other people who are coding live also can kind of give that feedback as well. And so that's actually worth quite a bit of money to a lot of these companies because they're all moving extremely quickly and they want to move as fast as possible. So, my earnings aren't coming from my apps or my Discords. The shipping of the apps is me learning to be an entrepreneur because for the longest time, if you work in any type of FANG company, you don't learn marketing. I grew up super poor. I never like ran a business, right? I had to like work my way into a lot of businesses. So I used to like do computer repair. I used to like DJ weddings. I used to do so many different things. I used to photograph weddings, all of this stuff to try to like get myself like off the ground, sleep on the floor, live in friends' couches, that type of stuff is kind of how I came up. And then when I became an engineer and started earning some real money, that's when like my whole life changed. It's like, okay, cool. I can focus on being extremely good at something and focusing on an ecosystem. And that ecosystem ended up being, Apple's ecosystem with the operating system and that software and going extremely deep on that. So now you're basically watching my journey transform into learning how to be an entrepreneur, learning how to like make apps, learning how to use AI to actually leverage my intelligence for how software is built to do this type of thing. So I'm not here to sell you courses. I'm not here to like, take you on this like grifting journey or anything like that you see from like other people who are marketing and so forth. Like I'm really just here to be very genuine and code with me. So if you're down with that, definitely like hit that like thumbs up and subscribe. And for those who are new to the community, like that's kind of where I'm coming from. All the existing folks in the community, y'all already know. If you kind of see these people, like just let them know kind of what I'm about. Sometimes I may not get around to these type of comments, but I do want to answer them because there are a lot of people online who do like to like have different agendas and things. And I just want to be as transparent as possible as far as like what I'm doing. And if something is sponsored, I'll definitely let you know for sure. Like if they sponsor a stream or whatnot. Cause yeah, like if you've seen my previous stream, Factory AI did, sponsor this channel for the past weekend. And, I'm not earning any commission from people who are like clicking the link there to generate tokens. All I want these companies to do is like, I want me and my friends to code live, give us some tokens so we can code live and give you feedback. So, people who've been signing up, they got 40 million tokens like for free, right? So like, that's what I want to do with my being on YouTube and kind of talking to people and using these types of software, right? While we wait for these AI coding models to take 30 hours to ship us some features, you know what I mean? So that's where we're coming from. So I love Claude 4.5. I don't get it. People don't understand this kind of work is not worth it unless you build actual apps and ship them. I think that's the whole point. And not a lot of people have experience shipping apps. Even if you do ship apps, like shipping is only one part of it, right? Like the action of getting the software out there, but there's like bug fixing, there's like architecture changes, there's, a lot of other considerations that happen in that software lifecycle, but that's one part of it. There's the marketing side of it too, right? How do you get this app in front of people? Also, there's another thing too, that's like, are you even talking to the right market to begin with, right? There are a lot of people, like I have someone in my Discord, they are part of like some involved in some like hockey groups and stuff. So like they saw a problem in the market and they're already building apps and people are already getting value immediately from it, enough to like actually get some compensation, not direct like pay compensation, but some other types of things like, hey, we'll let you in the club for free and then we'll do these types of things. And if the app eventually gets, actually into a market and he's like already iterated with a lot of feedback, then he can possibly, launch that into an actual full-blown SaaS. And this is the era that we're in, is like you have local communities, local clubs that you can start to leverage from, use that, build with these tools and get that feedback and iterate as fast as possible so you can get off the ground. So definitely would encourage that for sure. I have a feeling that we need to prompt differently for Claude 4.5. I think we're going to figure that out for sure. Yeah. I think Claude is stuck. I don't think so. It's working just really, really slowly. as you can see here, it's like it's going through like super slow, but it's actually working. I'm actually I'm looking forward to actually fixing this bug. So where's the YOLO switch in VS Code? It's like I think it's at the bottom, or if you do the slash command, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. So the droid would normally come back with the plan before asking to continue with terminal access. Okay. When Claude takes too long, is it usually because something went wrong? You may want to restart the task. I just think it's taking long. It's possibly there's some infrastructure network going on with their end, because in factory, Claude 4.5 is just blazingly fast. I mean, we've had this plan sitting here for a little while. I haven't even looked at it. And I just wanted to kind of move forward here. So yeah, random, but you don't need to create a new front page from the one you showed us, the prompt gallery. That scroll animation might be heavy with 9+ images. Yeah. 21st dev is, yeah, for sure. My goat, for sure. I wouldn't give up on Claude Code. Best in the world, bro. Can factory digest Grok code fast and fast reasoning API? I don't know. I think I think the current models are set, but I'm not sure if you can actually change the models out. Yeah. Can someone on chat give me the TLDR on GPT-5 codex versus Sonnet 4.5? Ooh, I think I'll get to GPT-5 5 next after this. Yeah. I hope factory gets 4.5. So factory now has 4.5. If you do /model, that's how you can, that's what actually what we're using right now to do this implementation for the UI. And so I currently have it in spec mode, and in spec mode, basically that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I pasted in the prompt from 21st dev, and then I'm actually like having it update the rest of my app so that we're going to be following some guidelines. So I want to make sure that, you know, the rest of my app is currently like planned out. And so now we're going to basically transform powered by actual admin curating features. And now we have the code. So create a hero content connected to Convex. This is great. Update the landing page, complete the rebrand in Anime Studio, share page metadata. This is awesome. This, I didn't have to tell it this. I already knew about that. That's so cool. Document files. Implementation order is now going to go for the core component where there's no dependencies. And then the hero data depends on step 1. This depends on step 2. Bro, this is crazy. So this is the droid. So droid from factory is literally in spec mode is going through all these details. That's really, really awesome. These are really great tests. So low risk changes, phase 1, phase 2, git revert individual file changes. Wow. This is really good. All right. So I'm going to wait for this to implement it once we're done fixing our backend. So that way the file, there's no like collision in terms of files being, like worked on at the same time. So now it's actually running the bunx convex dev command and should cook. Yeah, it has some errors right now, so it should be able to fix those errors. So I'm curious to see if it's going to pick those up. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. So let's see. Bunx convex dev. Let's see. Herding. Swooshing. Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can give it these errors. All right. So if I just paste them in here, let's see. Is it gonna? Cooking. Guys, it's cooking. Okay, I need to mark the internal functions. Yes, that's right. So it's just because we changed everything from query to internal. So now it should be able to checking for changes. It looks like it's almost done. Almost done, yeah. Get checkout session is a query function. Only actions are defined in Node.js. Imports aren't properly being recognized. Okay. Okay, found 6 errors. So is it running now? Yeah. So what it's done now is basically you can run bunx convex dev -s once. So I'm just curious to see if it can iterate on that. I need to split into separate files or restructure. Let me move to internal functions to separate so it doesn't use node. Okay. Just curious to see what's going to do now. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is see like all the files that's changed so far. So far, oh wow, this UI is kind of funny because yeah, it's moving all this stuff over here. Okay. Funny UI. Can I move this over here? Yeah. Okay. That way our diffs kind of show up on the side view. Okay. So it's really hard to kind of do all these diffs and stuff like that. Oh man, this code. I should just vibe and not look at the code, guys. I don't know if I want to look at anything. This is so... Oh, this hurts. This hurts. Are you guys feeling this pain right now? I think all I want to do is just use the droid. I think the droid here would have just cooked so fast. Oh, this is painful. This is so painful. Oh. Why is it taking so long? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I really hope. Yeah, it does. Okay. LOL. The Claude code voice when using the female voice did not cite. Okay. Did Claude denote as well? Denude? Okay. Oh, so the clicking noise is my bad. That's because the people were doing like yard work outside. And so I had to wait to start my stream until they were finished, but they continued. So yeah, my bad. Let me just put my headphones on real quick. Let's see what you guys are working with. Yo. Oh, is this a little bit better? Maybe because I think, I wonder if I had, oh, the clicking noise is probably because it was like, this is probably better. My bad. So I think the clicking noise is maybe because it was going too loud. Yeah. Okay. I had it set too high. My bad. Hey, thanks for the heads up, Alex. So awesome. Let's see how these models function with all the NPM packages impacted with the hack. Oh, I hear the click now. We should have a quick way to verify the model doesn't download any. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. It's not showing anything thinking at all. Yeah. It doesn't show any thinking here at all, which I was hoping it would. Yeah. Yeah. So those clicking noises are those guys. Let me see if I can kind of show you. I'll take off the processing. So you can hear. So yeah, the processing kind of muffles them out, but I'm trying so hard to see if I can get this to work. Yeah. I think of that. Yeah, I think for sure. We get massive ROA from your work. Hey, appreciate that, man. Can we live code on our own channel on Discord and get restrictions on who is built like hanging out? Dude, I'm totally down for y'all to live code in the Discord for sure. I mean, I think anyone could just live code. Yeah. If you can't, let me know. Thanks for sharing the journey. Yeah. Oh, I think, yeah, you guys are still catching up to my comments. Have been vibe coding with several on-chain apps. It's just a little bit challenging to deal with smart contracts in crypto. Any recommendations? I don't really know. Also, yeah, that's a weird bug with my thing here. I wonder if it's just because of the folks who are doing the yard work back there. Yeah, that clicking's so weird. Let's go. Oh, yeah, thank you guys. I think we're just, yeah, I'm a little bit behind on the chat, so I'm kind of just catching up to the comments right now. Learned about AI in February this year. I'm still catching up. While Factory's on fire, playing with it now. Yeah, if you haven't a chance, you can get 40 million tokens just by using that code below. They still enabled it, so it was only for the live stream, and it's still working. So people are still signing up and getting 40 million tokens. So I want to give those tokens out to you guys. If you want to play with Factory, just go ahead and do that. I did not see anything. I really push it down, ST. I always look forward to catching your videos, even if I miss a live stream. Though I can't lie, I'm a little jealous I wasn't there in chat. Mixing vibe coding, catching up with the stream as well. Checked on the Wi-Fi as well, still cracks. Yeah, I just checked the XLR cable. I think it's kind of that. Let me just double check. Alex, I appreciate you with the audio check-in. If you guys don't know, Alex Volkov runs Thursday AI. He's literally like the GOAT for AI, like language models and stuff. And this guy started at I think at the beginning of GPT-4, they would start these spaces on X, and they would just talk about the models like straight up. And it was really amazing because I got to learn so much about like open source models. Like they had everyone who's building like literally the teapot of Twitter was there live, like as things were happening. So, I mean, I think it was, or maybe it even started with GPT 3.5. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to go check out Thursday AI, amazing show. They have, they now have a live stream on YouTube, so you can check that out. They also have stuff on X Spaces. You can check it out as well. And every single Thursday they drop fire. I think there's now like a Substack. So in the Substack, you definitely want to go ahead and support them. I think it's so cheap. It's like $5 a month or something like that. Check it out. And yeah, you get all the latest drops. So you can figure out like what's the latest image models that have come out, all the video models that come out, like anything that's happening in that space this week. It's crazy. And some weeks are so heavy. It's just like 2 hours nonstop, but he'll always give you the TLDR. So you can just kind of check in if you're just kind of super busy that week and see what's kind of dropped and kind of move on from there. So that's kind of where we're cooking with here. So yeah, definitely check them out. Seems like every time I get comfortable with one solution, the better one pops up. The best coding model just wasted 5 minutes telling me my app was fine and then it failed. Now it's like, oh, right, there isn't a table of contents in the database. My bad. This audio is so weird. Cool. Yes. In spec mode. I cannot deal with the speed of this model right now in Claude Code. Oh, so painful. So painful for me. Like, I really want to just move on. I feel like I could just copy this output and just give it to factory and it will just go to town. But I'm already this far invested. You know what I mean? I can't. How long has it been on my stream? We've been 1 hour and we're still waiting, bro. Like, I can't do this right now. I can't. Okay. Low key, since we are playing around with two different things. Okay. So my front end redesign is going to touch some of the convex files eventually. But in the first phase, we're only going to mess around with the UI. So let's just go ahead and work on like the first phase of our implementation. Maybe that would be the best phase here. So I'll just say, all right, let me just check some of these files that I got in so far. So we have these here. And so if there's any conflicts, it'll just kind of figure itself out. So yes, and allow all commands on high. So I'm going back to factory. And for those who don't know, if you're just joining on the stream, I'm trying to redesign my landing page for the Anime Studio. So my Anime Studio is basically allows you to upload a photo and it will draw like a specific thing that it finds interesting in the image, and it'll basically animate it with using like some anime styles. So it's kind of cool. So you have like this cute like little images and things you generate, and you can even share that with friends. So you can just share it, with friends or copy the share link, and then you pass it around, and then all of a sudden, you can kind of show your friends and post it on, social media and so forth. And so if you want to create your own, you can kind of create your own there. That's using the new Nano Banana model, which is awesome. And so within that, I was like, I definitely need a new landing page. And I found this one on 21st Dev. If you just kind of scroll down. My bad. I literally think that clicking is from all the other work that's being done back there. So that's okay. It is what it is. I can't change it if things. Okay. And I think it's probably the cables and the ocean. Oh, you probably hear my MacBook microphone right now because my audio board actually died, and I'm trying to get my audio working here. So please stand by. I really appreciate the patience. I'm having an audio issue because literally my Rodecaster just died out of nowhere. So let's see if I can get this back and going. Appreciate everyone's patience right now. Let's see if I can kind of get this going on here. And so we're waiting for this to kind of come up. And while it's doing that, this is kind of doing its plan. And okay, cool, we're back. We are back. We back, fam. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. And are we back? Back. Go back. Rodecaster live multi-track. Okay, cool. Loop back. Okay. Hopefully you're able to hear me now. And there's no more clicking noises and stuff. Okay. So I think we're good. So yeah, my Rodecaster basically died, for those who are wondering, and we're basically resuming. So yeah, just to catch you up a little bit, I basically have a design here in 21st Dev, and this is going to be my new like hero landing page. And these are featured images that I have on my website. So I want these to basically scroll in the way that they are doing here for the Anime Studio. And I have this plan that's created. So so far I've used the model inside of Factory, which is the Droid. And so that one is just, it's with Sonnet 4.5, it's so fast, like ridiculously fast. And the harness like it's just really good overall. It's such a great experience. And then when we try to use it in actual cursor just took forever cursor went super fast, but it wasn't really the right approach for fixing the bug that I had issues with. When I would have a user try to check out and buy some more credits on my app, it would keep failing on checkout. So with this bug, I wanted to implement the fix, and it didn't, cursors just went too fast. It said, let's just add a 2.5 second timeout. It totally gaslit me and just kind of dipped. And I didn't really like that. So what I did is like, let's just go ahead and try Claude Code. And so this is where we've been stuck for almost an hour. It's like been going nonstop for an hour when this should have just finished in like 15 minutes. And you could just see how long it's taking. Like it's not like it's doing an epic bug fix or an epic plan. It's just taking forever. So I thought about killing it and just going, but we're almost there, like literally almost there. So as of now, I'm already like implementing a rewrite of the UI and going through the different things here in Factory. In fact, is Factory already done with the first phase? Let's see. So far it says, I've successfully implemented the hero gallery scroll animation and completed the full rebrand of the Drip Me Up. Yo, damn. Oh my goodness. Oh, really? Yo, let's just check this out. It's already ready. Okay, fam, are we ready to cook? Oh my goodness. Let's see, local host 3000. Internal server error. Let me rebuild the site because it doesn't rebuild. All right, let's go, fam. Let's go. Are you excited? I'm excited to check this out. Okay, so now I got to sign out. I'm going to sign out so we can see that landing page. Hey! Oh, that's cool. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty fire. That's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Oh my gosh, how cool. So start creating. Wow. Transform objects into anime art. Awesome. Everyday items come to life. Studio Ghibli inspired magic. I don't think this is Studio Ghibli though. So I just chose a design style. Okay, cool. So, wow. So so far, like on like Factory AI moves so fast with the Claude Sonnet 4.5 model that like we just copied the code from the front end and put it in here from 21st Dev. We copied the prompt. I went into spec mode with the Factory AI Droid, and in spec mode, we iterated a couple times, and then we're hooking it up to existing convex database so that I can grab my featured images. And so as admin, so if I go /admin, I can actually see all the featured images that are currently featured, like enable them and disable them. And as a user, if you want to feature your image in here in the local host type of thing, I made this so that you can just go to share settings and say feature in the public gallery. So if you want to feature this image in the public gallery, I just have to enable it. And then basically from there, like the admin can actually choose to have it featured or not. So if you're the admin in here, you should be able to kind of disable it and then give a reason why you want to disable it. I could just say, hey, you cook too much, bro. And then you can disable the images, or you can even delete it if you want to. Like, I don't think that image is even appropriate, so we're just going to go ahead and delete it. So that's kind of where we're at with this one. That's what's really cool. So then I should still be able to drop images, like drop one in here. Network failed. Okay, there's an issue with the failure. So did Claude Code? It's still computing. Oh my God, it's still taking forever. Okay, that's what's up. What do you think the models are going to be like in a year from now? Bro, too much, bro. I don't think this is the right question to ask. You got to ask, what are the models going to be like a week from now, bro? Like, I can't believe how much has changed in the last week, you know, with all of these different model drops that like these guys move so fast. It's just absolutely insane. So, yeah, it's kind of funny how you ask that question. So, okay. Okay, so this is crazy. The model just came out. I would say give it 1 to 2 days. My issue is I got 2-3 pages one site. I gotta watch my money. Yeah, for sure. Yo, waking up, Robin. What's going on, man? You gotta try the new model. It's gonna gaslight you. And it takes forever inside of Claude Code. I don't know what's going on. Like Claude Code is taking forever. All right, let me check in these changes though, because I really do like them so far. And we just cook. We're cooking with two things at the same time. All right, so I'm going to check that in for now and then go back to factory because I think we still have to build out the other sections. So phase 1 of the hero gallery animation is done. So that's done there. So phase 2 is a complete rebrand. So this is where we actually have to go through and update all of these different images. So this is for the sharing. This is the modal. This is the README. This is going to change the text from Drip Me Out to actually the Anime Studio, from Diamond Chains to Anime Transformations / Illustrations. So like this next phase is pretty big, and this is going to happen inside of actual factory. So factory has a droid. So if I do /cost, I'm going to see how much it's cost me so far. So as far as like number of tokens, it's only used 447,000 tokens. And so that's pretty like extremely token efficient considering all the work that we just did here for the factory, which was like drop in all that code from 21st Dev. We dropped in and iterated on a spec. We iterated on that spec and we did all this work and it even wrote a bunch of files and we haven't even used like 500,000 tokens yet. That's so crazy, you know? And it is extremely efficient at caching. Look at that. It cached 1.2 million tokens from the repo. So it doesn't necessarily need to like use all that stuff for the raw token usage. So wow, that's really amazing. So I'm almost ready to move on to phase 2 and it looks like it's just wrapping up its tasks over here. So the checkout flow is now resilient to network issues and follows the recommended convex architecture pattern. So I just want to make sure we're good to go. Looks like there's no other code changes and I should theoretically be able to check out from here without any errors. So we'll see. Does the best coding model in the world? I'm not gaslighting you right now. I'm just reading the press release from Claude, which says at the very top right here, like, I feel like this is like a rapper right now. Claude Sonnet 4.5 is the best coding model in the world. Does the best coding model in the world, can it fix this bug? And does it ship? We will find out right now. If you haven't had a chance to hit the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up right now. Let me know in the chat. Does it ship, right? Does this ship? Was this worth the hour-long wait to fix this one bug, which should have been fixed in 10 minutes? But is it worth the wait? If I'm dealing with the best coding model in the world, let's find out. Let's find out. So the real test is, can we make some money here, right? That's the whole reason why I'm using this, because it's actually a blocking. If people can't check out, I can't make money. So is this actually going to save me money? So let's go ahead and check out. We're going to get 420 credits for $5. Do you have 5 on it right now? Drop the 5 in the chat if you got 5 on it. Let's go. Purchase some credits. Hey, this is better. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Let's go. 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. Let's go. Let's go. We got this. Okay. Can we cook? Does this cook? Does this come back and get me the 420 credits? So I get 420 extra credits. Yes. Look at that. 840 credits. Awesome. Epic. Let's go. We cooked, fam. Look at this. Let's go. Yes. Oh my gosh. Dude, my app works. We are cooking. So Claude Code Sonnet 4.5 eventually came around. It took over an hour to fix this bug that should have probably taken 10 to 15 minutes. And we put this same problem through a couple different IDEs. So if you're just watching it right now, I'll explain to you what just happened. I'm now able to make money and buy credits by hitting purchase credits. This is a bug that was haunting me because whenever I would do this, it would time out. And would time out for a lot of different reasons because number one, the app was vibe coded. And just because it's vibe coded doesn't mean it's like we can still not make money. But what happened here was I tried to pop this into Cursor. And when I put this inside of Cursor's agent, Cursor's like, yo, I got this. I'm going to move real quick. I know what I'm doing. And it's like, boom, 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 I'm done. It's like, bro, I know you're an intern and everything. You're very confident just because you graduated from this fancy university. Adding a 2.5 second timeout isn't like, while it may help us some percentage of the time, if there is an actual real failure underneath that's hidden, now you're making the user wait painfully when they want to give you money. And I don't know about you, but like you never want to make anyone wait when they want to give you money. Whenever you're doing that, if you imagine if you told them, yeah, you're going to get access to my service, but you have to sit down for like an hour just for you to like actually get into the store. You're like, bro, who are you, bro? Like, are you the next, Louis Vuitton or something like that? Like, like you only got like 5 of these, like you have like 1 million people in your store. Like, what the hell's, why can't I go in? I'm trying to actually give you money. So that's what happened. It's like, there's underlying problems. And I could tell like there was like a little code sniff here. Like, Cursor, I love you, but no, no. That's not the behavior from the most intelligent model or the best coding model in the world. Right? So we popped it into Claude Code, and in Cursor, with the extension, you can just go into the extensions here and then pop into Claude Code. And then once you have that extension installed, you click this and it has a nice little graphical user interface that you can actually interact with. And the advantage of that there is you can select different things and so forth. So at first attempt, it did not actually fix our issue. There were still some problems, and I put it into plan mode, and in the planning mode, it did actually root cause the actual issue, but the approach to solve it wasn't the approach that I wanted. So I told it to go ahead and do some research on the actual Polar SDK and the Convex SDK. From there, the web queries took a very, very long time. It even hallucinated some of the URLs, but eventually kind of came around to fixing the issue. And once it did fix the issue, it created this nice little plan. And that's what almost took an hour for this entire plan to execute, step by step, line by line. I don't know what was going on because it doesn't actually reveal the thinking traces, but this is what we finally got around. And in that meantime, I was able to launch another agent from this company called Factory AI in San Francisco. And disclaimer, they have sponsored my live streams in the past, like the last weekend. And they've actually given everyone 40 million tokens and credits, which is super awesome. I said, if you're going to sponsor me, my people have to code with this type of thing so we understand this type of thing and we make our own decision whether we like it or not, And so that's what we're using. And a lot of people who've been using it have been really impressed, but this is not a sponsored stream or anything by any means. And so we're evaluating that. And in that meantime, that agent was able to help me with the redesign using Claude Sonnet's 4.5 model. We got the code from 21st Dev, and we basically were able to go to the animation hero that we wanted to redesign. And then we hit copy prompt. And from the copy prompt, we were able to then go into the droid and go into spec mode. So spec mode is a little bit different from planning mode. And the spec mode from the droid from Factory AI is basically trying to figure out your intent for figuring out what specific features you want in your app. This is probably the hallmark reason why this agent outperforms everyone else in Terminal Bench, is because it's so good at managing context, not wasting your tokens, but also trying to understand your intent and in terms of what features you want to deliver. With all that said, that's what we did a couple of iterations with. And in one shot, basically it says here's your phased approach for the plan. And it's delivered the first phase in our plan. We still have 2 more phases to deliver. And it did that extremely fast. So the best and fastest place, and for me, the highest confidence to use is going to be the droid, to use Claude Sonnet 4.5. And we haven't even switched to GPT-5 yet. I just wanted to test out, for me, Claude has always been really good at UX and UI design. So if I gave it this type of task, is it going to be good at following that through? And this thing just blazed through this whole thing super fast. So we're only at that first phase. of this implementation, because now we're like the second phase is connecting the database part and these other features that we want to do. And then we're also doing a complete retransformation. So now that this has done its thing and we've checked in the code as well, that's kind of where we're at right now. So this is already done really good. And then we're just going to say this. Okay, there we go. This, okay, this looks great. Now move on to the next phase. Okay, so we're just going to let it do its thing there. All right, so using Claude Code right now, it's really, really slow inside of Cursor and so forth. In the terminal, I don't know if it's like because there's just a lot of traffic, but you know, if it's the same endpoint that's being served to factory, there's something that the factory folks either have access to or something that I don't know what they're doing, but they're so fast. So here we are moving on to the next phase. Great. This is factory's droid right now. And it says, would you like to work on next? Here's some potential directions that we can go in. So now it's kind of interacting with me, asking me some more questions. Do you want the test implementation? Start the dev servers, verify the scroll animation works correctly, test the scroll behavior, verify the features. So I could just give it some feedback now. So I was able to go to the hero section, and when I scroll, I also noticed that there's some additional images at the bottom. I'm not sure if they're actually supposed to be there, because I don't think those images are part of the original hero animation. Let's see, enhance the landing experience, add more animation polish, create additional landing page sections. Yeah, I want to enhance the landing page experience as well. That's awesome. Wow. I also do want to enhance the landing page experience because I do feel like we need to really sell this transformation and even show some of the original images and how they transform to the next one, if possible. If not, even just the transform images are enough to sell this type of feature. And it's interesting about talking about the different, it like knows enough about the code for these different hero variants. I noticed you opened convex. Would you like to bulk feature image management? Huh. Actually, all of these changes are amazing. Let's just go ahead and create plans for each of them. And I want you to put some of them in. Put them in documentation. So I have a documentation folder. The docs folder. Put them in according to the documentation README. So what I have here, whoops. I'm having some issues with my terminal right now. Oh gosh. Okay. So as of now, we have these images in, and we have this that's already done. So I'm going to close out Claude Code for now. I mean, like, I'm kind of done with Claude Code. It's too slow. I'm going to go back to this droid thing because it's so freaking amazingly fast. And this is what's just going to keep cooking our next set of features and stuff like that. So that's going to keep working on our thing. And what does it say now? I see the issue. Okay. The public gallery at the bottom. And now it's actually just going to go ahead and kind of create the specs that we need to do for the next things here. So for those who don't know, I actually like to keep my documentation, that's stuff that's active. And I have this README file. And in this README file, basically what it does is, I think I'm going to put this over here. Let's see, unlock group. Okay. Oh, that's what was going on. So this is my README file, and this is like my structure for the documentation to make sure that like I stay on track. And so whenever AI agents are doing work, they move stuff into active, they move it to completed or planned, depending on what they're doing. And I have like a basic spec file that it can implement. And so when I use Factory's spec mode and my own documentation workflow, like it's like super enhanced. If people are using the BMAD method, you can even use the BMAD method within the Factory Droid spec planning mode, and you get the similar type of behavior. I think the Factory Droid is just really good at conserving tokens and making sure that they're used effectively, and also in understanding the user intent. So now we have a landing page enhancement spec. So it's gonna like, it's now put it here in the planned. And so we have that here, which is pretty beautiful actually. That's a nice spec. Wow. this is amazing. So with these specs, I can probably pop off different terminal windows and tell the droid to go work on that spec, right? As long as it's not overwriting new code, it should be able to kind of work on it. Or I could just start a new chat and just start to work on it one by one and then kind of verify that the changes are fixed. So now it's creating a hero animation variant spec, an admin featured management spec. So each of these little spec files are kind of like these little micro features. And you can see how we turned one idea of like a hero page and all the stuff that we needed to do onto our app into these little smaller chunks of work that need to be done. And what's great about it is that each of these little pieces of work, we're going to pull them up into like a task and just kind of go through them sequentially just to make sure they get done. And the reason why I do this is because we want to leverage the context window of these models. They become really intelligent if they get really focused and get narrowed down on a specific procedure. And by having a high level idea and a spec plan, that's kind of what we get here. And then we can kind of drill down and say, now go ahead and implement the hero animation variants and basically don't stop until you're done. And so each of these types of things are going to be ones that just say, don't stop until you're done. And that's how it's going to get like a really good quality output. And so that's how we're going to leverage this model right now. And it's currently just invoking these tools as we speak. So cool. So somebody's asking, what are your thoughts on GPT-5 Pro? Did you find it better than Opus 4.1? Wondering if it's worth a $200 a month purely for help with coding. So GPT-5 Pro, I found like GPT-5 High to be extremely useful. I was able to use it inside of Cursor. I was able to use it inside of Codex. You know, the GPT-5 High models, I don't really see that much of a difference. I like to use it also inside of Droid for planning. I think out of all of them, I like Droid the most for planning for GPT-5 High. And then the Codex model as like just the daily driver of like, once you have these specs outlined, just switching over to Codex and just letting it really execute the code. And so in this type of environment right now, I'm basically just using Sonnet 4.5 all the way through because Sonnet 4.5 scored so high in Terminal Bench over Opus 4.1. I mean, you know, why not, right? Like, is it going to be good at planning? Is it going to be, if you give it these types of things, is it going to be good enough? And we've already kind of seen some of the earlier things here where using it inside of Cursor, it wasn't that smart, but using it in Claude Code, a couple different prompts steered in the right direction, eventually got it right. A pretty, for me, what seems like a straightforward backend issue with like a timeout and like calling the right APIs. It took a long time, but it figured it out. Inside of Droid, you know, with its planning phases and stuff like that, that definitely helped it out for making sure it kind of stayed on the right track here. So that's kind of where you're sitting. So it like your quality of output is really going to matter more on the model side, as far as what the actual harness is, like who is the one that's actually writing the code, you know, what's the agent actually doing on top of that. So that's kind of what it is. So just reading through my exam, people seem to be split between, yeah. So Robin, exactly. I think people are split because there's such a variety in the harness that's being used. Literally, like Claude Code is good, but it takes a long ass time. Using it in Droid is actually kind of amazing right now. And like inside of Cursor, it's really fast and wants to get work done and feels like to gaslight me more. So, yeah. Alex is the GOAT. Yeah. Oh yeah. For Thursday AI. How do we paste the middle lines of Droid in chat window? Whenever I try to use click, it pastes each line in the separate prompts in the queue. I think this is a really good bug for the Droid team or the factory AI team. So if you haven't had a chance to submit that, I think you should submit that, because I think it's kind of weird. You can't really track where you are in the chat, and it's kind of hard to like go and edit files and stuff, or edit a prompt, because I do feel you on that as well. I still think GPT-5 better is reasoning model. Yeah. It doesn't look like people will be switching. I don't know. I think the vibes are going to be like, let's just mess around and find out. Let's see. Okay. So what does it say now? I'm having a UI bug, by the way. So now we've created all these spec documents. So 5 different phases. So all the specs are now in here. So now we have, this is feature high priority high. After your transformation, showcase with interactive sliders. 6 to 7 day implementation. Oh my God. So, wow, that's crazy amount of stuff. And then a README with a roadmap, timeline, and priority matrix. Bro, this is crazy. About the extra images you're seeing, the public images at the bottom are from the public gallery. That's intentional. There's a current structure. Only showing 8 images. Remove entirely. Yeah, make collapsible. Okay, so we can remove or minimize the public gallery. Hence this. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and quickly update the options to clean it up. And I just want to remove that section entirely. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and clean it up by removing that section entirely, because I already like the hero scroll animation. And even if it's just 5 images, if those 5 images can cycle with the existing featured images, that would be kind of cool. Okay, so that's what we have here. And let's go ahead and check out this major README plan. So this README plan actually has the whole roadmap. So to me, it feels like I hired like a senior project manager to look through my entire like rewrite of this entire SaaS app and say, you know, how can I redo the landing page, the animation, and go through all this level of detail in my app without me having to prompt it all the way through. And so in one shot, in essence, it kind of looked through a lot of the different things that need to be done using the factory's Droid model agent and Sonnet 4.5 and generated this really nice PRD at a high level while keeping the other spec plans inside of my documentation. This is amazing. And there's like questions and decisions needed. So should we auto select images? Like these are amazing. And the other thing that I see with the Sonnet model is actually has the wrong dates. December 2024 when we're in like September 2025. But otherwise it's still pretty good. So wow. Okay. So this is going to be really fun because now if I had access to like maybe kicking off multiple droids, I'd probably just have it go through and take a look at each one and making sure that our documentation stays up to date here. So, whoa, this is crazy. Let me check these changes in so far since we have a lot of stuff. Okay. It's going to generate this commit. Lots. Okay. I think it failed here. Okay. Let me go back to the other thing. So what's it doing now? So, okay, now it's actually just removing the code for that hero section. Okay. Wow. Okay. So now, test it live. Next phase, start implementing the landing page enhancements with the before after showcase. New landing page is cleaner, more dynamic, shows your best transformations. Holy smokes. So let's go ahead and go here. Localhost. Cool. Wow. Got a lot of people tuning in right now. Let's see here. Sign out. Wow. Okay, cool. I like this. Yeah, this is more like of the original thing. Awesome. So start creating. Cool. So I'm going to just go ahead and change here so that we can kind of go back here. All right. So we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just going to make sure I kind of wrap up the changes here to check them in. And I have like this really large roadmap now from Factory AI. So if you haven't had a chance, you want to check it out. There's like 40 million tokens that they're still offering. They haven't closed that down yet, so you can still sign up during there. I don't get any commission. I don't get anything like that. They did sponsor the show over the weekend. And this is basically it's almost like going to a potluck and it's like, here's a bunch of leftovers, you know, please take them from the buffet. I'm not going to do anything with them. So there's like tons of tokens. You can get 40 million worth of tokens down there if you scan that. I don't get any monetary compensation as part of that. You know, this is not a sponsored stream, but I do like using their model, and I really enjoy using the droid, especially in this like spec mode that we're doing, and then moving over into like actually executing the code. So that will actually get you access to Sonnet 4.5. And so we were able to ship quite a bit of stuff so far using that model. And now I have a whole bunch of features to kind of rewrite. So I do want to catch up a little bit with the comments because I know a lot of people are kind of catching up. So let me just I'm declaring comment bankruptcy and just going to go back to the last recent comment that I received. So how many tokens have you used with Droid? So that's a really good question. Let's go ahead and check that out right now because I'm really curious. So if I go to, let me go ahead and get rid of this right now, /cost, and 800, I haven't even used 1 million tokens yet. So I've only used 854,000 tokens. There's a UI issue right now where it's not showing all the different text. I think it's just a matter of the way that the stuff's being rendered on my screen. But 854,000 tokens, not even a million tokens. We've read through the cache of 2.3 million tokens, and the output has been like amazingly low. So we were able to do a lot of planning, a lot of feature work, a lot of reading of files, and a lot of stuff here. And we even generated like a bunch of PRDs and things. And it's amazing how little tokens we've not even used like a million yet. So that is super duper impressive. And it's like the Droid is like super impressive at like maintaining and managing the context window. And that's kind of part of their secret sauce. And that's actually probably the reason why it's so good, to be honest. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely check it out. It's really, for me, I find it really, really useful. I should be working, but I am watching your stream. Yeah. No, this is too good. Ray already switched to big dog. Ray. Yo, have you tried the new planning mode in cursor? Okay, so tell me, how do I get to the new planning mode? Because I think I'm here. I don't see plan. Oh, plan. Bro, you're telling me this thing has been here the whole time? I haven't even used it, bro? Okay. If I try this bug fix here, okay, I'm going to try this right now. So let me sync my code. I'm going to try to see if I can get it to revert the code back to this phase and see if we can go back to planning mode. Bro, Robin, where were you, bro? You should have woke up earlier. Check this out. So I'm going to revert. I'm going to say discard all changes up to this checkpoint. So it's going to like discard all this code. So these code changes that it did, I'm basically throwing them out, right? So I'm going to just say discard changes, discard the file. Yes. Okay. So we're going back. So it's going to act like this code change never happened. And then I'm going to go back into plan mode, and I'm just going to tell it to use Sonnet 4.5. And I'm going to see if it can come out to the same results and conclusion that the original Claude Code thing did. Because if it does, bro, that's going to be crazy fire. Because then the speed would be super fast. Oh, man. Sorry, where's the factory? Oh, so it's down below right here, this little QR code. So rfer.me/Ray factory. Let me just type this in here. https:// https://rfer.me/Ray factory. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just put the link in as well into the chat. So if you just click that link, you should be able to kind of get that going. Or if you scan the QR code down below my little icon here. So let's just see. Bro, I forgot about this plan mode thing. That's epic. Can I hit this little pencil? It doesn't tell me what you are. Okay, this is the prompt. Let's go ahead and read this. We're going to turn into Pliny the prompter. So this is the prompt that it's using for its plan mode. So it's saying you're a senior software architect in code design, analyze the requested changes, and create a detailed implementation plan. Okay. This is cool. Follow the user instructions. Okay. That's it. That's all this like plan mode is right now. And that's what it's doing. So let's see what happened. So it says the front end calls this, the mutation this, background action is process checkout, get checkout session. The root cause is a loss of connection while the flight was called. Okay. So the background action timeout most likely. So post checkout, missing error handling. So the proposed solution is add a timeout. What? Set a maximum wait time. No. Trash, bro. Add an expiration when creating a session. No. A 30-second timeout? You're going to make my users wait 30 seconds for this to execute? Like if there's a actual underlying bug that we don't resolve, we're just going to add 30 seconds? Just like, bro, the smartest coding model in the world, right? Like you see the differences between the harnesses, cursor, right? Like, what is this trash, bro? I think this is your plan mode. You need to turn it on in beta settings. Yeah, I did. And this plan is trash, bro. It's the browser gone with, is the browser thinly gone with Sonnet 4.5? I don't know what that question says. Just tag factory AI. Fix them. Okay, cool. Dude, the factory team is on fire. I tell them yes, that's awesome. Now let's try the same thing with GPT-5 Codex or GPT-5 High. Actually, let's just do that, bro. Like, this is the first shot. This is so trash. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with, before I get to GPT-5 High, I'm gonna make sure I can give it access to the web and say, can you just look up the latest convex and polar APIs to make sure that this is the right track? Okay, okay. This is not the right fix. Please look up the latest convex and polar documentation on the web. Okay. So I'm gonna give it its chance. I'm gonna give it a fair chance because this is what I did with Claude Code, right? In Claude Code, I told it to go look up the docs because my own sniff test was like, bro, how are you just gonna add? Okay, they added 30 seconds instead of 3 seconds, right? Like, I can't right now. I can't. I think Rob is gonna point. It's gold yellow for me too. I don't have access to modifying the system prompt. Oh, interesting. There are too many Robins in here. Plan mode and cursor is not even good. It's borderline. I agree. I think plan mode and cursor it's actually worse, to be honest. It's just easier for me to just yap and say, just cook, bro. Just cook. It doesn't cook. It does not cook right now. I'm sorry. Like, cursor, I love you, but I don't like the results. Right? Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, don't gaslight me. Look at all these web searches it did. At least it's faster at web searching than Claude. Yeah. Round robin. Oh, okay. You're telling me there's like a new plan mode? Bro, don't tell me this. Don't tell me this. Okay, bro. This plan mode. Oh, and there's a cursor browser in the agent window. Okay, let's go. Oh my God. So like where now that I have this on, let the agent create a plan before it starts writing code. Where can I use this? I'm going to stop this thing. I'm going to go back. And if I select plan, is it this plan? No, it's this plan. Create a detailed plan for accomplishing task. That looks new. Oh, I can set the model too. Okay. Okay. So now I've set Claude Sonnet 4.5 in plan. So if I really wanted planning to be done with Opus, I could even set that as well. Oh, so this is, if you see these little detailed plan things, now I don't have access to that system prompt. Let's just see how this turns yellow now. Okay. This is why I do these live streams, because y'all with me right now. Oh man. You need to know. No. I think we still got the same thing. It looks like we got it from. Dude, coming in. Not a fan of Polar yet. They charge for, yeah. And then you pay Stripe withdrawal fees. Yeah. So it's really about merchant of record and taxes and stuff like that. So yeah. The new plan mode. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, man, so much. Okay. Yeah, this is the new plan mode, bro. I can't, bro. Stop it right now. Okay. Let's see. I'll help you fix the checkout failure issue. Let me investigate the payment connection loss. Let me search for the more context about how the checkout is being initiated. So based on my investigation, I see the issue. The error connection lost when the action was in flight. Okay. It's missing the incorrect. Okay. This is exactly where we should be going with this. Have you configured the polar environment variables in the convex dashboard? Yes, I already did. When you check, do you see any error messages? Okay. I mean, at least we're getting some questions here. Are you using Polar Sandbox in production? Okay. I have those configured in the convex dashboard, and I check the logs. They don't show anything. They just show that error that I just pasted, and we're using Polar Sandbox, yes. And adding a timeout is not the right thing to do here. I need you to look up the latest convex and Polar SH documentation on the web to see how they handle these types of connections. Polar.sh documentation on the web at web. Okay. So now I'm basically doing it what I was doing already in Claude Code in plan mode and literally kind of guiding it in the same way. And I'm trying to see now, can it use the web to figure out what the next steps are? And, you know, really kind of guiding it towards what we should be doing here. So I don't need another 30-second timeout. Bro, the timeout, bro. I'm so dead right now, bro. I can't. I'm on 4.7 ultra member. Do not see. Okay, so you need to update to the 2.0. If you're using bun, I put a command in my X account. So it's like bun X. It's a really long command, but let me see if I can find it for you real quick. I'll paste it in the chat because some people are using bun to install Claude Code. So I'll go to X real quick. Go to my profile. Dang. I'm absolutely right. Yeah. Okay. So this is the command here, and I'll see if I can copy and paste this one here. Because some people are using bun and they haven't been able to update, but you have to do this invocation. I had this issue earlier with someone I was helping as a client, and I got them unstuck by doing this type of thing. So if you're using that, make sure you run that command, bun update -s global at anthropic -AI. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah. So that, oh, did I paste the wrong thing in there? I think anthropic -AI. Is there a space in my thing? It did space it out. My bad. So I'm going to, here we go. It's actually this one. There was a copy and paste error. So it's anthropic -AI, and this is actually what's showing here. You can kind of see. So make sure you run this command, and then you should be good. Screenshot this, pause the stream, whatever you got to do. You should be able to kind of do this, and you should be able to get up to date. So that should be able to update you there, because I had that issue earlier. Okay, so let's just see what happened. So this is Cursor's new plan mode. So sorry, it's not the new plan mode. It's the new plan mode. And big shout outs to Robin. If you haven't had a chance, make sure you go ahead and follow him, by the way. So his name is Robin Ebers, and you'll actually see him. He did talk about this is the new plan mode. And so he has a YouTube channel. He talks a lot about, helps a lot of people with AI coding. He's got the whole stuff going on, as far as like a group and everyone, for teaching this type of stuff. So he has a cohort as well for helping people out. Definitely go ahead and check that out if you haven't had a chance. And we're checking out the new plan mode inside of Cursor. And so this allows us to fix the Cursor checkout connection lost, enhance error handling, logging. Okay, so add comprehensive error handling. Bro, I feel like this is just a one shot, bro. Like, I don't think you need all this extra... A prepared plan? What did it say? Let me create a plan to fix this. I feel like you just need to look through the plan. Add validated. No. Steer the plan. Do the web research. It didn't. It did. Environments, no additional logs, using Polar Sandbox. Oh, this is so bad. So from the web research, the key insights are network connectivity issues, polar rate limiting, need better. This is not it. So looking at the process checkout, it's an internal action and it uses this. It calls this and try catch this. So the connection while lost action was in flight called by client suggests the action is being triggered while the client connection is being lost. See, this is the actual problem. It knows about the problem, but it's proposing something else. No. Let's just go ahead and build it. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with you, Claude, inside of Cursor right now. So yeah, there's varieties of bugs, and I don't know. After this experience, I really don't trust it inside of Cursor, to be honest. Claude Code, yeah, but it takes a long time to run. Factory Droid. Holy smokes, that thing moves super fast, and it seems to work really diligently to find the problems and so forth. So, wow, I can't right now. I'm just gonna stop this thing. I don't even know where we're at right now. I think it got kind of stuck actually. So when I said build, it started and it wants to build again. Build to build. I don't know what's happening. So it wants to implement this entire plan now. Oh, it's just going to add console logging everywhere. No, I'm good off that, bro. I'm good. I'm so good. Let's just, no, I'm good. Okay. All right. So I think we're done with that. I can't do this. I can't do this right now. Let's see. Hey, just arrived. How's Sonnet 4.5 going? Chat, do y'all want to let him know right now? So Sonnet 4.5 like will really depend on the specific provider who is using the model. So if you're using it inside of Claude Code to debug a backend issue with like some type of, simple like async await, implementing the API spec correctly between the front end and the back end, I would trust Claude Code to do it. It does have to be steered a couple of directions, but then after it does its web research, it'll work. It took us over an hour for the task to be done when it should have been done in 10 minutes. And so there is something going on there. I really don't know. It could just be the first day jitters. But what's weird is the same model running inside of like Factory AI's Droid was so fast. Inside of Factory's AI Droid, I gave it a different task for Claude Sonnet 4.5. I gave that a design task. So design, like help me redesign the front end. And I used 21st Dev to take a look at Anime Studio here. So I said, hey, here's this hero component I found where I want to scroll because I have a bunch of images and I want you to implement this and like help me kind of integrate this into my app. And while you're there, because I forked this repo, it still has things called like drip me out. And when I share stuff, I'll say something about like some chain or something like that. So I need to basically go through every part of the app because I don't have this thing called drip me out. It's no longer an AI diamond generated chain. I forked this whole thing. So in Factory AI's Droid, we basically created a spec file. And that spec file, and we copied the prompt from 21st Dev, went to town, did some iterations, and it created a really nice detailed plan, and then was able to actually create like a bunch of different spec files and act like a senior project manager and created a whole roadmap to kind of flip our whole app. And so that used like less than like 700,000 tokens or something like that to generate that whole thing, do all that research, and it was extremely token efficient. And the model behaved beautifully. Like everything that I would expect a really intelligent model to behave like, it really felt that way. So that was really, really cool. Using the model inside of Cursor, it like to solve these like problems to fix the backend issue, it seems to like rush to a solution really quickly. And then trying this new plan mode, like even though it knows exactly what to fix there, it still wants to add a bunch of logging and a bunch of other things because that's what was happening earlier in the context. And that's still keeping it into its context. And it's kind of creating this rot as we're seeing in the output. It's like it should have thrown that away already and said, I see this solution. It's actually already written down here in my thinking window. I need to pull that in and start implementing it per the documentation from Convex and the Polar SDK documentation. So that was kind of where, I think Cursor has some work to do to actually tune the model to make it better. And your results are going to vary depending on what specific app you use. So if you use Windsurf, you use whatever. Also, the type of task that you're solving is going to differ as well. And if you're coding with us in the community, please share your results. Whatever you're posting on Twitter, I want to read it. If you're trying the Droid out, I want to read it. If you want to try Claude Code, I want to read that. Whatever you're working with, make sure you kind of put like, whatever your configuration is, because I think we're all going to get very different results from UI design to like fixing backend issues to a very specific tech stack. All of them seem to behave very differently. So I wouldn't say this as like, don't try it out. I would say go ahead and try it out for your use case. I think to me, more often than not, the Droid tends to win out with this like really spec driven type of implementation and then going to let the model really drive to a solution. And I kind of really appreciate that type of thing. And so that's kind of where I'm like kind of leaning into. And that's kind of where I'm going with this type of thing. So that's just a quick summary of where I'm at, where though it is though. So yeah, the build. Yeah. Run it once with GPT-5 Ray in plan mode, and we'll love to see it compared. Okay, I'll do that for you for sure. I'm kind of running out of my voice here. Let's go back over here. So GPT-5. So if I go to GPT-5, let's see. So the plan pencil, GPT-5 high, GPT-5 high fast. Yes. What the heck? GPT-5 high fast. Okay, let's get high. Let's go back. Did we even? Okay, we're still in the yellow part. So here's the plan. It's actually empty. Okay. So let's just see if it helps find the issue. I'm really curious. Thank you, Ray, to see the smoke storm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think Cloud Priorities API over membership calls via the... Oh, interesting. So If you have Claude Code, you think that it's kind of nerfed. Therefore, Factory is faster for now because of the API. You beat putting on a webcam to watch Guac Heavy. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll. Yeah. I'm just curious. I'm really curious now. Is it going to figure this whole thing out? I don't think it rolled back the changes. So this may already have the fix for it. I'm not sure. At this point, I'm kind of like a little exhausted with like checking out these models, to be honest. I need to take a little bit break, but I'm doing this for you guys. So I'm going to scan through the payments flow and find where, like, I already like this way of thinking. This is using Cursor GPT-5 high harness. So it sounds like Convex is losing connection during the long running action. See, this has already got to the right conclusion. This is already really good. GPT-5 high? Holy smokes. I'll begin by searching these files. Bro, GPT-5 high is a cracked senior engineer. It's like, I know what's going on here. Oh my gosh. Wow. I see the guides specifically writing to do for task implementation. Okay. Going to scan payments flow. Oh, this is fire. Bro, okay. So, Robin, are you telling me that I could have saved this entire live stream, like hours of watching, if I just started with GPT-5 high and said, yo, this is the smartest coding model in the world? Yeah, GPT-5 high is what I've been using day in and day out. It's incredible. Thanks for testing this. GPT-5 is still the GOAT. I haven't tested Sonnet yet, but I'm sure the outcome would be better. I don't know if you guys know it, guys. Like, don't listen to these people who are in the comments, because Claude Sonnet is the best coding model in the world. Claude Sonnet 4.5 is the best coding model in the world. In the world. Do you guys agree? Drop it in the comments right now. I want to see your reactions. Like, have you tried it out? Is Claude Sonnet the best coding model in the world? Oh man. For someone who is a kidnapped poor, would you recommend it besides my GPT Pro subscription and the ZAI sub? Do you think 4.5 is worth it? Also, opinion on factory AI droids. Okay, factory AI droids are just like literally amazing. If you're able to pay $20 to get 20 million tokens, and then you use GPT-5 with it, with the spec planning thing, I think you're really going to cook with that whole thing. Even if you're paying out of pocket token cost, because you're going to just be paying whatever that is. That's one part of it. The second part with factory is that you're not going to burn through tokens. They're very token conscious and extremely token efficient. You saw all of the planning for the UI that we did. I mean, Claude Sonnet would have easily consumed way more tokens. I'm going to go to /cost right now, and we're going to see how many tokens the other session has taken up. Actually, there's a new setting right now. If you do Claude.ai, we can see how many tokens we've used up so far in a session. So I think it's Claude.ai. If we go to our settings, I'm going to go to that right now and making sure I get there, and then kind of see if I could show you into, I think it's usage. So in Claude, if you go to Claude.ai, it's actually going to show you the usage now. Let me kind of get rid of this here. So in our current session, it resets in 2 hours and 34 minutes. And they show you, because I have the pro plan, only 1% was used. And so this tells us about our weekly limits. So this resets on Monday at 9 a.m. and Opus only resets at 1 a.m. So you can pay for extra if you want here. But so far, because I have the pro plan, I've only used like 1%. I'm curious to see what you use. So if you just go to the settings in your usage here, you'll see this. This is actually new today. So that's what you'll see. So yeah, we'll see what we're going on. GPT-5 is still going, but yeah, I'm very confident on it kind of solving the problem, if you know what I mean. Oh man, if we're talking about this claim here, you're saying the best coding model in the world. We're talking about which planet? Do you think the prompt optimization is valid for vibe coders for like initial project start, like humans prompt from JSON from an AI LLM and then dump the JSON into the additional prompt for the project, like in Cursor? For factory, yeah, I mean, you can start there because you're going to have like a really good conversation with the agent. And I think it's going to be much more intelligent for, driving those changes that you want. So, yeah, that's kind of that there. So is this our plan right now in GPT-5? I just want to see. So this is Cursor's plan mode with GPT-5. and it's now talking about how it's going to fix this problem for us. So it's going to add checkout sessions by user ID. It's going to create the last pending query in here, recover the session on connection lost, recover the session on, this is great. In the purchase modal, and in the document envar service. Okay. So if I just go ahead and say build, can it build it? This is awesome. It moves pretty fast. My timeline's full of people calling Sonnet extraordinary, uncontested best model, shills all day, bro. Oh man. Really? For real? GPT-5 is high for sure. Yeah, Claude Code is still the best with Sonnet 4.5 Opus. I think GPT-5 hands out is a better reasoning agent for complex tasks. I love how Ray wears Kailua beach tea while in Hawaii. Bro, this is where it's at right now. It's just chilling. I used up Droid free tokens from your link a few hours today. It's pretty good. I'm telling you, bro. If you haven't had a chance, it's right here, right down below. That's the way to get it right now. I did a lot yesterday with 30 million tokens. Thrilled for this new GLM. Oh, that's going to be fire. So that, yeah, the factory monthly plan is just 20 bucks for 20 million tokens per month. If you sign up with the link, you get 40 million tokens, by the way, for free for the first basically 2 months worth of tokens. But yeah, it's just 20 bucks a month, and then you pay the API fee on top of that. So if it cost you however many cents for a million tokens for GPT-5, and that's what you're using, that's it. You know, that's what you're paying. So yeah, exactly. So here we are. I'll start by tracking the implement. So this is actually a lot better. So GPT-5 high fast in Cursor's agent. If you start with plan mode to find the problem, it did find the problem even without searching on the web, which I actually found very impressive. And it's actually trying to fix the issue here. So I added the checkout session by user ID. Let's see. I don't see the plan, but I want to see the code that it changed real quick. So here. It didn't really change the code. It just... Really? It just added an index. Okay. Okay. So what's the next thing we keep all? Create the last checkout query and then recover the session. This implementation is still mid. I don't know. I'm not going to accept this, but yeah, I for one shot, it's okay. It's better than what we saw before. So GPT-5 high planning mode in Cursor, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of biased now that I have something better in my pocket to pull out, right? Like I got to pull out the Droid, generate the specs. And then once I have the spec files, I can just hand it off to Codex and just let it do its thing. And it'll just go ahead and start cooking all day. So yeah, I'm going to give factory a shot too. Yeah, for sure. What worries me is like what makes it easy is that the plan with only 20 bucks per month. I don't know how comfortable that would be. I guess it just depends on how much you vibe code, but I mean, try it out. If you get 40 million tokens and you're shipping features left and right, you can kind of get a good sense of how many tokens you're going to use for the rest of the month, right? Depending on how busy you are. And look at the cost for GPT-5. It's still extremely cheap. Codex is really cheap comparatively. Now the prompt and Droid. Yeah. Okay. Prompt and Droid. Let's go. I'm running out of my voice right now. So I think I might do that for the next stream or fix a different problem because actually that's what I used to fix a bunch of other stuff earlier in Droid. And so, yeah. Oh, I'm so exhausted. So we're at 2 hours and 13 minutes and like my voice is becoming dead. And I do want to do more prompting in Droid because the only thing we've got to do in Droid so far from everything else here so far is basically the UI stuff. So I was using Claude Sonnet in here, but to be honest, I want to use Droid with GPT-5 high and just chill out because like, you know, Claude Sonnet's really good too. Like I'm going to use both. So to fix my like backend bugs that I'm dealing with convex and all these other things, I'll definitely be using Droid because like, you know, that's what we're going to go ahead and see for the next live stream. So if you haven't had a chance to make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up because I need to kind of get up out of here and get some food and take care of things. And I want to give like, you know, a little bit more time to do everything and not kind of rush through things because I'm kind of losing my voice right now and I've been up pretty early and it's about 4:30. I need to get some dinner and so forth. So I appreciate everyone who's been able to kind of tune in so far and kind of check things out here. So we got you, Ray. You've been streaming nonstop and it's okay to stop. What's the keyboard that I have? It's basically the new knob one. So Yeah, if you want to check out some more stuff, I'm going to have some more live streams later on this week. I need to kind of take a break a little bit because I've been streaming, pretty much nonstop, Saturday, Sunday, today, Monday. And I need to actually enjoy this nice weather outside with the beach and everything. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who's been able to stop by. If you haven't had a chance to obviously subscribe to the channel, it's totally free. I'll be doing that. There's a link to the Discord if you're on the YouTube description or in the YouTube description, but also in the live stream link. If you want to join, it's just $14.99 a month. I'm going to be closing down the signups pretty soon, probably in the coming month, because I want to keep the community a little bit smaller. And so the price will be doubling after that because we're already almost at our 200 member mark. And so what's really nice about the Discord is just like everyone's kind of like chilling in there, really serious about, coding with AI, kind of like I was explaining earlier for those folks who were tuning in, my journey and playing around with these models. So if you want to check that out, definitely do that. If you haven't had a chance to sign up for the 40 million tokens, go ahead and try that out for Factory, the Droid thing. This is not a sponsored video. They did sponsor the live stream over the weekend. This link still works for now. I'm not sure if they're going to shut that down, but when they do, that's 40 million tokens. A lot of people have signed up so far. So like, I don't get any commission from any of that. It's just literally me giving this out to you because I want to code with you live. And I do highly encourage you to check out the Droid thing. When you do check it out, check out that spec mode. So you hit Shift Tab until you go to the spec mode, do the iteration like I was doing earlier, generate that nice spec, and then just start to go away and start coding. Using it with Claude Sonnet 4.5 is really fast in there. And I really like it so much. So yeah, with that said, appreciate everyone. Love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all.